Hello and welcome back to ERS Tier 4 round I don't even know, it's around 13?
13.
13 at Hungary, and going into this I was the most confident I've actually been probably going into a league race, because I've done a lot of practice. The Hasses weren't here to spoil my day, and neither was Oscar, so I was pretty sure I was the fastest on at the track, and I showed that by out-qualifying everyone by 4 attempts. Realistically, probably shouldn't have, because Joff backed out of his lap for tyre wear, and that's why he only qualified third instead of second. So he probably would have been like a tenth, 2 tenths behind me. No?
Probably similar.
Yeah.
But I backed out and down.
He backed out for tyre wear because we didn't think anyone else was going to match the time. Then WG Plays did, so big pain on that front. Oh well.
Yeah, and then he got gassed, so I broke on my lap G.
Yeah, but this is my pole lap on in the background, and you can see it was a very clean lap. It was nowhere near as fast as I could go, as I had done like sub 13s in time trial, same as Joff. So I was still technically like 5 tenths off my lap.
Both of us were like not reaching our potential.
Yeah, but I still got pole like 4 tenths, so can't complain. But yeah, lost a little bit on the apex there, but good exit speed, DRS on straight away, and yeah, fairly standard 14.4. Not the best time ever, it wasn't exactly quick, but it was a clean lap. And it did the job and got me my first pole in league, which was kind of wan. As you can see, Joff in third. Off the start, I was just trying to make sure that WG Plays didn't just dive bomb me into turn 1, because he's kind of got a history of doing that. So I was trying to get the best start possible, and you can see Rich makes and DRS straight away. I do get the start needed. WG Plays isn't going to do anything. He still has a look, but I pretty much cut him off because I was like, that's not happening, Chief. Into turn 1, you can see Joff gets a little bit wham on the exit. Someone dies, and Joff's lost a little bit of time. And then WG Plays tried to go around my outside, but then there's a VSC, so no doing. But at this point in the VSC, I was like, I backed everyone up by like a lot because I was scared of getting a drive through. But I was pretty much saying, well, I need to just use WG Play, because the only person I was scared of was Joff. So I was like, I just need to use WG Play. I need to drop WG Plays as quickly as possible. So while Joff's trying to overtake him to get like a second out. Yeah, basically use him as like a barrier, pretty much.
Yeah, get a car in between them.
Yeah, but you can see off the restart, Joff lost a bit of time to WG Plays, and I dropped WG Plays. And as you can see later on in the lap, Joff actually makes the move, although I've already dropped out of that second gap. But Joff making the move into one of my favourite corners to make moves is very satisfying. You can just catch people napping. Yeah, but gets the move done, and you can see the gap is a 1.5 seconds currently in lap 2. Yeah, 1.5 seconds. And I think Joff gets like punted into turn 1 here, but he keeps the position. Keeps the position as I do fast lap. As you can see, now onto lap 4, so 2 laps later, I've actually dropped Joff by another second, just really showing like pace I had. And Joff's also dropped like J Martzell by 2, so we were at this point we were gassed, and then it all goes wrong. I thought I saved that quite well. I did get line wing, and you can see Joff here, not going past because teammates in it. But I basically let him pass when I see I have wing damage. I'm like, well, I'm just not going to be as fast now. So yeah, this was very poor for me, because I felt like I should have won this race by a distance, but I just choked in it. There was, it was just shite. I'm just bad at the game. But yeah, you can see me going to lean here, letting Joff through on the straight, because I'm not going to hold up my teammate just for holding on to first, because that's just small brain. But yeah, not too great really. I was hoping Joff could just drag me along in this stint through DRS. And you can see here, I don't even know what happened really. I didn't think you could spin on the outside curve, but counter steers. Don't know if I should have got wing damage there, but I guess I should be happy I didn't come away with any less.
To be fair, you did quite well to
yeah. Anyway, now on lap 7, you can see I've just been chilling in Joff's DRS. We wanted to go into the pit this lap, fucked it. I don't even know what happened there, to be completely honest. The line wasn't there, and so I had no idea how to enter the pit. It was just kind of, it was just poor. But anyway, now on the next lap, you can see me going on the grass, going wide. I was not having a fun time on these tyres with wing damage. I was debating whether to change my wing or not, because it was lime, but I was like, well, my reasoning for it was I managed to stick in Joff's DRS, so if I change my wing, I'll come out in like 3rd or 4th. And it's quite hard to overtake here, so I was like, I'll just keep it and just try and get Joff to drag me along for the rest of the race, pretty much, and just secure the 1-2 rather than risk not getting first, or not getting the 1-2, and having to overtake other people. Looking back on it, I probably should have, but it is what it is. Both judgment call. J-March, you can see, overtaking me out of the pit on my on new softs. At this point, I was quite triggered because I was like, well, he's just gonna hold me up on his 1 softs. Apparently, they were new. He'd already pitted, so as you can see, the wing damage really affecting my corners there as I go out while getting my first penalty. Now, skipping on later to when Joff's coming out of the pit, I think. Yeah. J-March also basically does the exact same thing to Joff that he did to me. So, yeah, just gets through down turn 1. To be fair, side by side until I took to make the move, but yeah. Well, at this point we were quite scared he was going to hold us up. And then you can see ahead there's like 3 cars up ahead on the map. And this turns into like some wham fight. And I think it's the closest we've got. You can see here, zooming into the corner to show them like how hard these 3 cars in front of us were fighting. And this is probably like the biggest battle we've had in Tier 4 so far. Especially between me and Joff, because we're usually not, we don't really have too many on-track battles. But yeah, you can see here.
When we're near each other, one of us just spins.
Yeah, fully.
Like last race in England, I just spun.
Yeah, fully. But you can see here, I lined up Joff for the overtake here, had DRS, but he also had DRS and was using ERS, so not too much I could do. Tried to outbrake him around the outside, not much doing, sticks to the apex. You can see ahead of us, Vito gets pushed wide by Smux, and Vito actually drives into Joff here, not really sure what that was. Joff gets pushed out wide, almost spins, gets pushed out wide, looks up, Vito also looks up. I try and go down the inside, Vito just cuts across me, and then Joff pushes me out with the racing line. And I ended up not making any positions under that, and I probably should have overtaken both Joff and the Ferrari. But it is what it is. Had to brake early there to make sure I didn't back in Joff, because that would have been poor. But yeah, that was some wham fight between like us 5 cars. But eventually all 3 of those went to go hit, and as Christian Demov cuts the chicane and gives me edge off the position, which was quite nice. But yeah, these cars ahead of us all go into pit, and now skipping on to lap 11. Never mind, we actually overtake Smux on track. Joff, you can see all over Smux, nothing Smux can do there. To be fair, it was quite a good move because Smux defended quite aggressively. But yeah, I had way too much overspeed. In the braking zone, he actually outbrakes me, and yeah, bit of contact, but don't really give him any space and get the move done. So now we're up into 3rd and 4th, and that's a net P1 and 2 still. So it's been good so far. And now skipping on to the next lap, lap 16. You can see that I'm actually out of Joff's DRS, so this was quite worrying for me, because I was like, okay, now I get to see what my true pace really is, as J-Mart's pits, giving Joff DRS and not me, so big sad. But at this point I thought Joff was going to straight dip, and that I would just have to like try and like hold on to my position pretty much. But as you can see now on lap 18, he's still outside of DRS, but he hasn't really dropped me. And into turn 1, he makes a mistake. I'm not really sure what happens, but I do get back inside the DRS. Do you just go wide?
What happened?
Yeah, but you can see on the delta he loses. I'm back into the DRS zone, and from then on, from lap like 19 to lap 30, I think it was. I'm literally just, I literally just stay in his DRS, like, and this made me the big sad, because I was like, yeah, lap 30, because like we dropped everyone else to 20 seconds, like we were so much faster, and the fact that I could keep up with Joff with line wing was like making me the big sad, because I was like, I should be winning this race. But right now, 1-2 still a very good result for the team, best possible result. But as you can see here, Joff getting like held up by the ghosted car as he can't really get past on the apex. I don't know really what happens, but I don't think I really made a mistake. But I kind of car just like loses the back end, hit the wall, red wing, pit, and at this point that was my race pretty much finished. From basically a guaranteed win if I didn't spin to like, I don't even know. I think I came out P9 or P8 out of this pit. So as you can see, 8-second pit stop. But I was on the softs, which meant for the last 4 laps I was flying. But yeah, I come out I want to say P8, and then WG Plays overtakes me into turn 1. Yeah, so I come out fighting for P8 with WG Plays side by side. And as you can see, he touches my rear there a little bit. Not really too sure what he was doing. I don't know. But then through here, he dives bomb me into turn 2, makes contact and pushes me out. I had to, and then cuts across me through the racing line. And I actually had to like counter steer, otherwise he probably would have spun, so I would have just turned into him. So that was fairly poor. But now on to the next lap. I'm so much faster than him. His softs are older, and I'm just faster in general. We're both stuck behind Tygon. It's basically the same thing me and Joff did to Smox earlier on in the race, but WG Plays gets Tygon. So do I. Try and make it 3 wide. Brake quite early because there was a very narrow line. Still hit WG Plays. A lot of contact going on. But then a lovely switch to the inside there on WG Plays, and basically made the same move he made on me, but he turns in on me. So unfortunately I had to counter stay into him to avoid spinning, but I think that was more his fault than mine as he turned in on me. But it is what it is. And now on lap 32, you can see I've actually caught up to the 2 runners in front of me, Christian Demov and Razor. And Gim's just vibing pit lane. I'm guessing he spun as well in that corner. But then Christian Demov just gets no-scoped by the wall. I'm not really sure what happens as I set the fastest lap. But yeah, I'm not really sure what here happens. But that's me promoted up to P6. And now on the back of Razor, on lap 33, set purple sector 1. You can see how much faster I was at this point in the race. Like, I'm so close to him through this sector. Get a wash of understeer, get another warning. But here I was just like, I lined it up fairly well. I gave him the space. Rich mix, ERS, through this corner. Clean move. Apex, no contact. Good respect. He manages to keep it up my inside though. And I give him the space because, you know, side-by-side racing, we're very respectful in Tier 4. No pushes ever happen. And yeah, I managed to get the move done. But even though I went side-by-side through the whole of Sector 3, I still managed to set the fastest lap, just showing you like the pace that I had at this point in the race, with like the fastest tyres and probably one of the fastest people in the lobby. So now I caught up to Matt and Gorn. I caught about 4 seconds in like 2 sectors, I think, because these two were like fighting a lot for the last podium position. And so watching them, Gorn desperately trying to get past Matt here because neither of them had penalties. Looking back on this, I should have just watched them as I had a penalty, so even if I had overtaken them, I probably wouldn't have been able to drop them. So P5 was a very good recovery as I set fastest lap again. But as you can see, Gaunt and Matt actually go side by side, allowing me to get a really good line. Go to the inside of Gaunt now, Matt to the outside. Gaunt actually pushes me onto the grass, 3 wide, nowhere we can go. And that's really all she wrote. And to be fair, this move here was a bit questionable from Gaunt, where she just like pushed me onto the grass. But the actual incident itself, I don't think really was anyone's fault, as we went like 3 wide. Gaunt had nowhere to go, I had nowhere to go. I shouldn't have tried to push it so hard. But as you can see, P7, I had orange wing at this point. Last lap, I was like, well, this race is over. Skim steals my fastest lap. But Gaunt actually spins, so karma for me spinning, which means I do get P6. So it was a shite race. It was a shite race for me, I can't lie. This was probably my most demoralising race, because I should have won this race. I was just bad, and it wasn't even anyone else's fault really. It was kind of just mine. It was congratulations to Joff for winning. Was the fastest person on track, really faster than me. Just didn't spin, kept it consistent, and won by like 17 seconds. So like, what can you do? But anyway, bye. See you next week.
Fishy got drip, drip. Fishy got the drip. Fishy got the drip. Fishy got the drip. Ooh. Fishy got drip, drip. I know you want the drip. I got the drip. What? Fishy got drip.